Many times you can be fighting with what you think is your enemy, and really, that's not your enemy at all. For example, do you know that one of the ways that Satan attacks us is through people who actually really love us? I mean, they really do. They love us. They don't realize that maybe they're being used by the enemy. It's not something they're doing on purpose. But the enemy can actually come through people that really care about us. And that actually happened between Jesus and Peter when Jesus was expressing to him that it was about time for him to go to Jerusalem and how much he was going to suffer there. And Peter said, "Oh, no, Lord, this must never happen to you." It actually says that Peter rebuked Jesus. I don't know what kind of dumb you have to be to rebuke Jesus, but obviously pretty high up on the dumb scale. And why did Peter do that? Was he really concerned about Jesus, that he didn't want him to suffer? Or did he kind of have it already figured out that since he was part of the group, that if Jesus was going to go suffer, that he was probably going to get in on a little of it? A lot of times people hurt us and they don't even realize that they are, because they're really just trying to take care of themselves, or they're trying to get you to do what they want to do. You know, when God first called me to do what I'm doing, it was unheard of, most unpopular, especially in the denomination that I was in at the time. And people just thought I had lost my mind. To be honest, I lost most of my friends, was ostracized by the family, got asked to leave my church. It was a very difficult time. And those, all those people started out by saying, "Now, we love you. We want you to know we love you." And honestly, they really, truly did feel like I was wrong and that I was making a mistake for my life. But the enemy was trying to use them. And if there's anybody that we want their approval, it's the people that we care about. If somebody disapproves of you, that you don't care what they think, it's easy to not listen to them. But when it's somebody that you really care about and you want their approval, and then that's the person that the enemy tries to use, it gets extra hard. Well, Jesus, he recognized the source of his problems a lot better than we do sometimes. He was a little bit quicker to get things than we are. And he immediately turned to Peter and said, "Get thee behind me, Satan. You are an offense, a hindrance, and you're in my way." That's in Matthew 16. So what was Jesus saying? You are being used by the devil to try to prevent me from doing the will of God. Get behind me. Now, I'm not recommending that you look at your friends face to face and say, "Get behind me, Satan." That might not go over too well. But the principle is the same, that we really need to hear from God. And that doesn't mean you never listen to people. There's power in godly counsel. But when it all comes right down to it, you have to follow your heart. Because if you don't, you're going to always wonder what would have happened if you would have done the thing that you felt like God wanted you to do. So we war not against flesh and blood. Your fight may not be with who you think it's with. We war not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers and wickedness in high places.